funny thing about how the year flies. 3 months back, I was up on a roof in the cold, patching shingles a winter storm had ripped off. Today, I am taping Mylar to a window because the AC cannot keep up. The seasons turn faster than my back does. So let me tell you why I am taping Mylar. June 28th, 2021, Portland, Oregon. 116 degrees, the hottest day in the city's history. Over the days that followed, 69 deaths in Multnomah County were officially attributed to the heat dome. 78% of those victims were over 60. Most lived alone. And most did the same thing in the first hour. They walked over to the window and opened it. I am Max. Today on Outfox Apocalypse, 9 moves to survive when the AC dies and the power stays out. Most work backwards from what your body is telling you to do. Number 9 costs $0, takes 1 phone call, and would have saved most of the people in the Multnomah County Medical Examiner's report. Number 1. The closed window. Every instinct says open the window. On a normal warm day, that is fine. On a heat dome day, it kills you. When the air outside is hotter than the air inside, opening a window does not bring in cool air. It drains the cool air you still have. Per the Multnomah County Medical Examiner's report, investigators kept finding the same scene. Elderly residents, alone, windows wide open, dead in living rooms at 104, 106 degrees interior. They had opened those windows at noon. The outside air at noon was 116. Your house is a thermal battery. Walls, floors, furniture stored cool air overnight. Your job is to lock that cool inside as long as possible. Close every window the instant the outside climbs above the inside. Pull the curtains, south and west facing first, where the sun is hammering hardest. You only open windows when the outside drops below the inside. During a heat wave that is between 2 and 6 in the morning, set an alarm. Open everything for 3 hours. Close it all before sunrise. A retired ER nurse, a friend of my mother's, 30 years working Phoenix hospitals, told me the most common mistake she ever saw was open windows in mid-afternoon. Her phrase, "They were trying to breathe and they were drowning the house in heat." Number 2, the floor sit. Hot air rises. You learned that in middle school. You forgot what it means for your survival. In a 2-story home with no power, the ceiling of your upstairs bedroom can run 8 to 15 degrees hotter than the floor of your downstairs kitchen. Same house, same hour. 2 different climates. Your sofa puts you 18 inches off the ground. Your bed puts you 24. The kitchen tile or the basement concrete puts you at 0. That 0 is where you want to be. Put a sleeping bag on the lowest floor of your home. If you have a basement, you live in the basement for the duration. If you do not, bathroom, kitchen, laundry room. Concrete and ceramic tile hold cool from the earth below them and pull heat out of your back while you lie on them. An old neighbor of my father's down in Tucson, a widower in his 70s, told me how he survived the 2023 heat wave. 3 days without power. He dragged an air mattress into his bathroom, putting it on the tile floor, door closed. Small room, cool floor, single mass to insulate. He never went above 92 in that bathroom, while his bedroom was over 110. His next-door neighbor, same age, same building, stayed in his recliner upstairs. He did not get up. The recliner is comfortable. The recliner is a trap. The floor saves your life. Number 3. The Mylar reflector. This one comes straight out of the NASA playbook, and you can buy it at any dollar store. Mylar is a polyester film with a vapor-deposited aluminum coating. NASA developed the material for spacecraft thermal shielding because that aluminum layer reflects roughly 90% of incoming infrared radiation, the heat radiation that pours through your windows and turns your living room into a greenhouse. A single Mylar emergency blanket, the crinkly silver kind in every first aid kit, costs about $1.50 at any drugstore. A 10-pack on Amazon runs around $12. Tape one shiny side out on the inside of every south and west facing window. The aluminum bounces the infrared back outside before it can heat your air. The military issues Mylar tarps for desert shelters for exactly this reason. You can do the same thing to your bedroom window for the price of a candy bar. One catch: tape it to the window frame with a small air gap, not flat against the glass. Otherwise, on a brutal day, you can crack the pane from heat buildup between the two layers. Frame mount, half-inch standoff, shiny side out. And please do not buy the boutique window film kits at the hardware store for $40 per window. Same coating, the marketing markup is the whole difference. Number 4. The wet sheet trick. This one is region dependent. Works beautifully in some climates, does nothing in others. Take a cotton bed sheet, soak it in cool tap water. Wring it damp but not dripping. Hang it across an open window or a doorway with a fan blowing through it. As air pushes through the wet fabric, water evaporates, an endothermic reaction that pulls heat out of the air. You have built a poor man's swamp cooler. In dry desert air, this can drop the temperature downwind by 10 to 15 degrees. The catch is humidity. If the relative humidity outside is above roughly 50%, evaporation slows to a crawl, and the sheet does almost nothing. Gold in Arizona, Nevada, Eastern California, West Texas, Colorado, New Mexico. Useless in Florida, Houston, Atlanta, the Carolinas, or the Pacific Northwest in summer. If you live in a humid state, skip this and jump to move number 6 instead. Number 5. The frozen bottle on the pulse points. Your body is a heat exchanger. There are places where the big arteries run shallow under the skin, wrists, neck, inside of elbows, the femoral artery on the inside of the thighs, back of the knees, tops of the feet. Cool the blood at those points, and you cool every cell that blood reaches in the next 60 seconds. This is exactly what emergency medicine targets for heat stroke. The gold standard in the field is cold water immersion when a tub or stock tank is available. But when you do not have that, localized cold to the same vessel zones is the right move. Ice or frozen bottles to neck, groin, and armpits. The 3 places where you can reach the largest blood vessels closest to the skin. You are not cooling skin. You are cooling the blood flowing under it. You do not have ice packs. You have water bottles. Before the power goes out, there is almost always a forecast warning. Fill 4 or 5 16-ounce plastic bottles 3/4 full and freeze them. When the AC dies, you rotate them. 1 on the neck, 1 in each hand, 1 between the thighs. Switch every 15 minutes as they thaw. You feel the cool spreading within 2 or 3 minutes. It is your circulatory system doing exactly what physics says it should. This trick is gentle enough that the same doctors recommend it for elderly heat patients who cannot tolerate a cold shower. If you are over 65 on heart medication or have circulation problems, this is your move. A cold shower in a frail body can trigger vasoconstrictive shock. Bottles on pulse points cannot. Pause and screenshot. Neck, hands, inner thighs, behind the knees, tops of the feet. That is your map. So far we covered what to do with the house and what to do with the body. Sealed windows, floor, mylar, wet sheet if the climate cooperates, cold on the blood. That is the first ring. The last 4 moves are the time game, what you do when this is not breaking by sundown. Number 6. The battery fan and the ice bowl. Buy a battery-powered fan, not next week, today, before the next heat advisory hits. The Ryobi 18-volt hybrid fan runs roughly $50 to $90 at Home Depot, depending on the bundle. Vornado makes a corded compact, but for true battery-only models, look at Geek Aire, EcoFlow Wave Companion fans, or any DC 12-volt fan paired with a portable power station. A USB rechargeable desk fan runs $20 on Amazon and gets 4 to 6 hours per charge with a power bank. The fan alone is useful. The fan plus an ice bowl is the move. Take a metal mixing bowl, fill it with ice, and this is where your freezer earns its keep, and set the bowl directly in front of the fan, between the fan and you. The fan pulls air across the ice surface. Evaporation cools the air. The cooled air hits you. A loaded bowl plus a fan on medium produces noticeably cooled air for 2 to 4 hours per refill. It cannot cool a whole room, but it can keep a 3-foot bubble of survivable air around the chair you sit in, for as long as you keep ice in the bowl. Combine this with the closed windows, the floor sit, and the mylar, and you have built a survivable microclimate inside a dying house. A full freezer holds cold longer than an empty one. If a heat wave is forecast and your freezer is half empty, fill the empty space with jugs of water the day before. Those jugs become more ice for the bowl, more pulse point bottles, more thermal mass for your food. Number 7. The hydration front load. You think you know this one? You do not. Per NIH research on aging and thirst regulation, the human thirst sensor degrades meaningfully with age. By the time you are in your 60s and 70s, and especially if you are on diuretics or have any kidney decline at all, your brain stops registering dehydration until it is already serious. You can be dangerously dehydrated and feel perfectly normal. Your thirst is lying to you. And dehydration is the door through which heat stroke walks. Research on hydration and cognition shows that the impairment from 2% body water loss is roughly equivalent to a 0.05 blood alcohol level. You start making bad decisions. You forget to drink. You forget you opened the window. The spiral has started. The fix is counterintuitive. Drink on a schedule, not on thirst. 8 ounces of water every 30 to 45 minutes during waking hours, regardless of how you feel. Add a pinch of salt or a packet of electrolyte powder, liquid IVA, LMNT, or half a teaspoon of table salt in a quart of water once every 3 or 4 glasses, because plain water with heavy sweating can flush your sodium too low. Set a timer, phone, kitchen timer, oven clock. Every 45 minutes it beeps, you drink. You write a tick mark on a piece of paper on the fridge. If you live alone, this is how you stay accountable when your own brain is starting to drift. And drink before the wave. The day before the advisory begins, get a quart in yourself in the morning and another in the evening. Preload your tissues. By the time it hits 100 outside, you are not playing catch-up. Number 8. The public cooling refuge. This is the move most people skip out of pride. Do not skip it. During every declared heat emergency, FEMA, State Emergency Management, and local governments open what are formally called cooling centers. Public libraries, community centers, senior centers, certain churches. They have AC, they are free. Anyone walks in, no questions. To find the closest one, dial 211 on any phone, landline, cell, burner. 211 is the United Way information line, active in all 50 states. During a heat advisory, the first thing they tell you is the nearest cooling center and its hours. You can also visit 211.org and search by zip code. Local malls, big box hardware stores, public libraries, all AC'd. Sit for hours without anyone bothering you. Bring a book, bring your medications, bring water. Spend the worst hours of the day, usually noon to 7, somewhere with refrigerated air. Walk back to your sealed dark house at night. If you cannot drive and live alone, 211 can sometimes arrange transportation to a cooling center. They are not going to know to call you. You have to call them. I've been holding the most important move for last. The one I said costs $0 and takes 1 phone call. The one that would have saved most of the people in the Multnomah County report. Number 9. The Neighbor Pact. Go back to the heat dome of 2021. 69 officially attributed deaths in Multnomah County alone. 78% of the victims over 60. Most of them lived alone. read the medical examiner's report carefully, and you find the pattern the news coverage barely touched. They were not found the day they died. They were found 3 days later, 4 days later, a week later, by a son in Seattle who finally got worried, by a landlord checking on late rent, by a meter reader, by the smell. Almost none of them were found by a neighbor. That is the failure, not the heat, the isolation. This move is free. Find one neighbor who lives nearby and is roughly your age. Apartment next door, house across the street, trailer 2 slots down. Walk over, knock. 2 sentences. If you do not see a light on in my place for a full day, knock on my door. I will do the same for you. Here is my cell phone number. That is the entire pact. No paperwork, no app, no fee. A bilateral check in between 2 human beings within walking distance of each other. If you can, recruit 2 neighbors, so that if one is also sick, the other still has reason to come knock. If you have grown kids out of state, set up a daily morning text, 1 emoji, just a sign of life. If you miss it for a full day, they call your local police for a wellness check. A friend of my mother's down in Tampa told me her own story after the last hurricane season. The only reason she found her elderly neighbor alive on day 3 of a multi-day outage was that she had agreed to feed his cat. When the cat would not come out, she went into the bedroom. He was on the floor, confused, semi-conscious, dehydrated. She got him to the hospital. He lived. The cat saved him only because the human pact existed in the first place. This is the one AI prepper channels will never tell you about because it is not a product, it cannot be sold, and it does not generate affiliate revenue. It is the oldest survival technology on Earth, human beings checking on other human beings. Open windows kill you slowly, over hours. Isolation kills you over days. The pact closes that gap. The pact is how the pack survives. Here is your homework. 3 things this week. 1. Order a 10-pack of Mylar emergency blankets, about $12 on Amazon, and a battery fan. The USB rechargeable desk fan is the $20 budget option. The Ryobi or Vornado battery fan is the upgrade. 2. Today, visit 211.org and write down the address of the closest cooling center to your home. Tape that address to your fridge, next to your medication list. 3. Tonight or tomorrow morning, walk next door. Have the 2-sentence conversation. Trade phone numbers. The neighbor pact is signed when both of you save each other's number with the word wellness next to it. Quick word for the pack. Tell me in the comments, which of these 9 moves did you already know, and which one are you starting today? If you have a heat dome story, an Arizona summer story, a Texas grid down story, share it. Somebody reading these comments will use it to save their own life next week. Disclaimer: everything in this video is general guidance based on public health data. Heat tolerance varies with age, medication, and underlying conditions. Heart disease, COPD, diabetes, kidney function. If you have chronic illness, talk to your doctor before the next heat wave about your hydration limits and how your medications change your heat risk. Some blood pressure and psychiatric medications dramatically impair your body's ability to cool itself. If you see signs of heat stroke, confusion, no sweating, rapid pulse, body temperature over 103, call 911. Do not drive yourself. Do not wait. Stay safe. Max out.